RFK Jr. announced that he was running for president. It didn't make the front page of the website of the Cartoon News Network, CNN. But when I Googled it up, RFK Jr. running for president, they did do a story on it. Now, we won't talk about those. You know why we won't talk about it? Because we're prostitutes. We're members of the club. We're media whores. We bow down and suck up to Hillary Clinton. We bow down and suck up to Donald Trump. We believe in Biden. Take your side. That's all they are, one side. We call it as it is. And I am the first person to call Kennedy several months that I've been saying that the top presidential candidate would be RFK Jr. Now, RFK Jr. is starting to do some tweets. And I think he's setting the stage to go center stage in the race for the White House coming up next year. Or, as I call it, the presidential reality show. The media's playing it down big time. Number one, they don't want to say that I called it. And number two, they're diminishing it. This isn't journalism. Why don't you just report that he's running without putting all the bullshit in there? Why? Because we're prostitutes. We're media whores that get paid to put out by our corporate pimps and our government masters. It's the divided states of America. We've never seen it like this. It was like this to some extent when I was a young guy, when the Vietnam War was going on. The nation was pretty much split, but not like this. And it's a whole different game now. And you look at the equity markets. You go back right after that, happened. Poof, the Dow's up over 300 points on the good news that, well, Biden's in now. What difference is it going to make? I mean, all of a sudden, a genius came into the White House and everything's going to be great again. So it's one thing has nothing to do with the other. What it shows is that the nation is so divided and that the future is really so uncertain, and the markets, Wall Street has absolutely nothing to do with Main Street. What's going to happen is you're going to start seeing new political parties being formed. And it's not only happening in the United States, it's happening around the world. They've had it with the establishment parties. And Trump was not one of the members of the club. I mean, the guy started his own place, Mar-a-Lago over there, because they wouldn't let him be part of the club. So he started his own. So he's looked upon as not a member of the club. And now he's gone. He's finished, as far as we see as a political voice in any kind of a strong movement. So we're looking for a new political movement to start happening, anti-establishment movements. Again, not only in the United States, in the UK, in Italy, in Spain, in France, one after another, Germany. You're going to start seeing them popping up more and more as the people are disgusted with the establishment. That's what this is really about. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. makes his White House run official, announcing his long-shot bid to challenge President Biden. All right? That's total propaganda. You're supposed to be a reporter. This isn't reporting. Give that as an editorial. You don't call that news. Hey, but you're the toilet paper record. It's only good to wipe the out of your... Mr. Kennedy, a California resident, traveled to Boston, once the citadel of his family's power, to declare that he would challenge President Biden for the Democratic nomination in a long-shot bid for the White House. They repeat it twice. His long-shot bid, 2 paragraphs later, his long-shot bid. Then you go to antiwar.com and see how they write it. RFK Jr. launches presidential bid. vows to unwind U.S. empire. Huh. He said Ukraine was being treated as a pawn between two great powers. Oh, we say that too. Kennedy called for scaling down the U.S. military presence around the globe. Quote, I'm going to bring the troops home. I'm going to close the bases. I'm going to start investing in the U.S. middle class. I guess he supports Occupy Peace because that's one of the foundations of Occupy Peace. Close the bases overseas, secure the homeland. Oh, and if you want to go to war, let the people vote. Again, it was the Democrats that sold the nation. Well, they both did. It began with Reagan and then Clinton. You look at China's gross domestic product before they got into the World Trade Organization. 2001, by the way, it was brought in under the Clinton administration, the World Health Organization, rather, the World Trade Organization. He brought it in. It was signed in 2 weeks after 9/11, and their GDP goes up like that. The Europeans and the Americans sold out their countries by bringing manufacturing over there. They didn't know how to do this stuff. And now they have the high tech. They have everything now. They have a dual circulation policy. They know that the global economy is going to slow down. They're not counting on exports as much as they were before. Now they're talking about building it more in their nation. They got 1.4 billion people. Hey, we do a lot of business with each other, manufacture more of what we're doing with each other, keep buying more of what we're doing here. We don't need as much as that. So they're doing on both ends, where the Western nations have lost that. And again, you're going to be looking in the next, right now, of course, the yuan only accounts for about 3%. It doesn't count for much at all. But the United States is going down. And so too will the dollar. I see the United States now as England after World War I. And the pound went away and the dollar took its place. And now that's going to start happening, unfortunately, with the, and again, this breaks my heart because, I'm an American, my blood is Italian, my heart's American. And to see what's happening in this country, these people never work a day in their life. What was Biden now, 47 years he playing the game? One after another. They don't care about us. They don't have to worry about paying their bills, their health care, their pensions. They steal the money in the name of taxes. By the way, everybody, wait for your taxes to go up. Oh, yeah, the gas tax will raise that. Oh, the sales tax will raise that. We'll raise your property taxes. We'll raise your school taxes as we close everything down.